That's what we want.
We should. The
Let's
bugs
do
are just
autumn.
part of the fun of it, right?
Let's do Angel, let's like please so let's take a look at the autumn. So I think best things to let you guys do is kind of talk. What is the car that we've got?
So yeah, we're in a different player house from last week, and we have got a Jeep Grand Cherokee Trackhawk. He read from the top of the screen. What Andy just did there is he applied one of the new off-road body kits that we have brought to the game in Forza Horizon 4. I am reliably informed there are about 12 of them in the game that you can apply to some of the more extreme off-road vehicles that are great for the world of Forza Horizon. And Andy is sporting one of them now as he leaves his house with little care for property damage, and we are in the Highlands. We're in the north of the map, which we haven't really shown anyone yet, in an area of the world that's kind of bits of beautiful Scotland, right?
Yeah, so there's two specific areas that we used as reference. So there's Glencoe, which people don't know, like Google that place. It's an incredible looking part of the world, amazing vistas, so it was a real obvious choice for us in terms of location selection. But there's also a place called Rannochmore, which again is another Scottish location. So this is a bit of a mashup of those two areas, which we've sort of selected the best bits from and created this section of the map.
It looks stunning.
Yeah, and also you'll notice we wanted to show you guys something about the verticality that we've hinted at before when it comes to this particular part of the this particular game, especially versus what we had in Horizon 3. So we really listened to the community. We knew that the guys wanted something that had a bit more verticality associated with it. That's a barn find right there as well.
No, I was just thinking,
spoilers, yeah, that's where that guy is.
The first one, if you need to find, if you're obsessed with finding all the barn finds, they're in Horizon 4, and that's
Who built that at the top of a mountain? It makes.
Where else would you put one?
This guy. This guy. Yeah.
Lives there. Yeah, and as Ben was saying, like much more vertical world than I think we've ever built before, which is great when you're showing off the Scottish Highlands and the Lake District. It really benefits from it, and I know our fans have been asking for more mountains, more mountain roads, switchbacks, and certainly this game delivers them, which is wonderful.
Well, it's great with off-road vehicles as well. And I remember last week you promised something to the viewers, right? You said it's going to happen. All right, and it's taking a look at the world map for the first time, because like, you see it, it's a huge world. Like, can you talk us through?
It is a huge world, yeah. So we're going to show, by popular demand, the world map. So that's where we are, sort of northeast of the world. And as we move south, we're down into the sort of Lake District, which we showed you quite a lot of last week. You can see, I think this is a pretty full map. I think I'm right in saying that we've kind of unlocked a lot of stuff that's on the map there, and people will see, I think, the things that they're looking out for. I know a lot of people were asking about the Goliath and whether it was going to return. If you notice there, it has. A really cool thing I think we've done this time is, as well as the Goliath, we have a bunch of really massive routes. There's the Gauntlet, there was the, I've forgotten the name of the other one, the Titan is there as well. So there's lots of really big routes for people who like big routes in Horizon games, which is great.
And there's Edinburgh.
And Edinburgh, yeah.
Yeah, which we're going to see. Also, there's loads of comments as well, because one of the big things I've noticed is trees. Right, so Ben, you'll be happy, like, people agreeing with you in the comments. Are you lusty gaming? I love trees, Ben.
Great.
So you've got loads of tree lovers
It's
across
not just
it.
me. It's not just me.
Yeah, I don't blame you. They do look incredible as well. But we're actually getting up to a bit that I think everyone gets really excited about in Horizon 4. It's a big part of the game, showcases. So Ben is going to leave us for a little bit now.
Yep.
And we're going to be joined by Aaron, who's going to talk us through showcases. So thank you very much for talking to us about trees, Ben. But thank you, Aaron, for joining us. And can you just tell us a little bit about showcases in Horizon 4?
Yeah, certainly. So for those people that don't know what showcases are, they've been a pillar of the Horizon games up until this point. And what we've done in Horizon 4 is push them to the next level with what we've got, using what Ben mentioned earlier in terms of like the verticality compared to Horizon 3. It's going to make a big difference.
No, I'm pretty excited as well, because I've always wanted to know, is one of the things, what's kind of your thought process of kind of going into making these showcases?
Well, we always say at the start of a Horizon game, and definitely at the start of Horizon 4, like, where do we go with the showcases? You know, how can we top what we did last time? I think we had some great showcases in Horizon 3. And there was some head scratching at the start of Horizon 4, like, what can we do? I think that the showcases we've got in the game, and we showed one at E3, we're going to show another one now, and I don't think we're going to show any more until the game is out, and we'll allow people to find them for themselves. But I think that the showcases we've got in this game are just spectacular, and you said earlier, like, they turned the whole formula up to 11, as I think we'll see now with the behemoth.
Right, let's get into it. I'm kind of, because I saw a little bit of this earlier, and I was like, I think it's the first reaction you always have. You just kind of like scream, like, whoa. It's like when when like the music kind of kicks.
So presumably nobody knows exactly what we're going to be racing just yet, and it's revealed here in this sort of pre-race cinematic. And obviously, at the top of a mountain in Scotland, it is a hovercraft.
It is a hovercraft, the perfect natural habitat of the hovercraft. So showcases are quite challenging from like a dev point of view, and like this one we spend months on them really, and they go around like all the different teams. So from working on it, I'll go away and then come back to it, and VFX have been on it, or cinematics have done some bits at the start of the race and stuff, so it changes as it goes on, and with all of that, it's really it is really a team effort for these big showpiece events that we have.
It must be really exciting with seasons as well, just kind of like seeing them. So, right, shall we kind of get straight into it? Don't crash this time, Andy. Right, right, there's the... Right. Also, guys, remember, if you have any questions about showcases, do drop them in the chat as we kick this one off. Right, so do you want to talk us through it a little bit?
Yeah, certainly. So we've started up at the top of the mountain, as we saw, and we're coming down into this beautiful valley. Big slow-mo jump there towards the viaduct. We had a previous route for this, was down by the lakes, which is the general direction we're heading. But in true Horizon style, there wasn't enough.
It wasn't down a mountain.
It needed some extra special sauce on it, and throw on a hovercraft and this wonderful Toyota truck down the mountain.
We've all thought at one point, what would it be like to race a hovercraft
exactly.
down the mountain? And now we get to find out. Bit of inside baseball, actually. The hovercraft was actually, we built it for Horizon 3, and we had an idea for a showcase using it in that game, which we just never really got it to work, I guess, is the thing. And it was really only when we sort of started playing. Oh, that's nice. When we started like playing around with it in this world, again, you know, like around this sort of area of the world in particular, that it started to really come together, and obviously making it smash through lots of stuff, that worked as well.
Being the size of what it is, and how hovercrafts move around, they do drift a lot, which is going to prove a bit of a challenge for a player, as most of the showcases in previous games have been, say, like planes, or you've either been like them flying over the top of you, whereas this is actually like front and center. It's right in the
helping us out demo this today. When the game launches on October 2nd, you'll be able to join. We're up to 72 people on a server. We don't quite have that many here now. We don't have that many people that can stop fixing bugs and finishing up the game to come and give us our time. So we've got a few guys here with us now who are going to help us to demo the game. As I was saying earlier, drivatars were great in races, and you can still absolutely race against drivatars in races. But when you're in the open world, there's an emergent fun and a character that real people can bring that you just can't create with an AI. On last week's show, if any people tuned in for that, you know, we spent a long time just chasing sheep around a field and trying to herd them up onto the white horse. We'd never be able to make an AI system that could like authentically recreate that experience, but in Forza Horizon 4, as you're driving around, those emergent experiences just happened. Even now when we're playing in development.
I think we've just got to point something straight away as well. So there's that auto ghost feature, isn't there?
Yeah. So Ben, do you want to talk to that?
Yeah, cool. So auto ghost is this really awesome way of just making our online world feel kind of super welcoming to everybody. Because one of the things that is not nice when you go online is people crashing into you, is kind of people griefing you if you're trying to be still or take a photo or something like that. So what Auto Ghost does is it says if somebody is not your friend, is not in your convoy, and you kind of haven't allowed it, they can't grief you at all. You will just pass straight through them.
So it's just kind of one of those things that kind of makes it more accessible, because I think that's been one of the biggest questions that I've seen being asked, is that shared world and then offline. So it's just kind of creating that barrier between the two.
Yeah, it's just trying to kind of bring the friction and bring the barriers right down. Really cool thing about Auto Ghost, we've just done a speed zone there, but one like kind of massive piece of community feedback that we got was traffic in drift zones and speed zones. Like, regularly people giving us grief about how bad they are, and I will hold my hands up, it does get annoying if you're nailing the perfect drift and you smack headlong into a traffic car. So we've used the same system to ghost out the cars when you're doing the speed zones and the drift zones.
So you can kind of perfect those zones to kind of get the perfect experience and nail the drifts and get those kind of like really high scores that you want to. So also, offline mode and shared worlds, it's seamless like transition between them. Can you tell us a little bit more about it?
Yeah, I think the best thing to do would be to demo it, because it's something that we're really proud of. If Andy wants to, he can just pause the game at any point and go offline.
Can't get Andy to pause the game though, that's the hard bit.
He'll be fine. And instantly everyone will get taken out of your world and eventually replaced with drivatars who start to spawn in. And this is...
So that's it, that's just kind of like you're now on offline mode.
Yeah, there's no waiting around for it, it's just brilliant.
Yeah.
There and done.
No loading screens, no cinematics or anything. You can see a drivatar's just there up the road. If Andy quickly goes back and again reselects Horizon Life, it will find him a session. This takes around 10 seconds or so. So if Andy just drives around now, once that's connected, we should see all Andy's friends who we were just playing with pop back into the world. Just give that a second. Yeah.
But while we're waiting for that as well, does Abhijit just ask, can you turn off Auto Ghost thing in a private lobby?
You can convoy up with people you know and have collisions turned on.
So you can still get those crashes if you kind of want.
Absolutely, yeah.
So that's cool. Also, we've got another question from DXSizzle99. Remember, guys, if you've got any questions for Horizon 4, drop them in the comments below. What side of the road is the main side? Okay, because it's one of those big questions.
The main side.
The main side. Which side of the road do you drive on?
I mean, I drive through fields, so you know.
That doesn't answer the question. Everyone goes through as the crow flies. You kind of crash through the fence and stuff, but you know, with the like civilian traffic, right? Which side of the road are they driving on Horizon 4?
So we drive on the left, which is the same as Horizon 3, but you drive wherever you want, really.
So we actually blinked and missed it there because it was so seamless. But whilst Andy was driving on that road, he reconnected into that session. All his friends popped back in. There was no loading screen, no pause, entirely seamless.
And now we're into photo mode.
Yeah. So
online photo mode.
So how does that work?
So it just works like it does offline. You go into photo mode, everything that you can see stops. You see all these cars here, which you might ordinarily have drivatars in free roam or in a race. If you think back to Horizon 3.
Yeah.
Now this is all the people you're playing with. Obviously, in their game, they're probably donating round or they might have driven off, but you had the perfect opportunity and you wanted to take a picture, so you go to photo mode, and there you go.
And if someone else is in photo mode, is there a way that you can tell, or is it just kind of... So are they just going to like ghost out so you can see if someone's in photo mode?
Yeah.
I think
everything gets communicated.
There we go.
Matthew upstairs has helped us out. His car now ghosts out, so we know he's not going to interfere with us. And a little bubbler pops up above his gamer set to tell us that he's in photo mode.
We've also keep getting these little chat messages, because I think one of the biggest barriers with online gaming is not everyone wants to go on, have to put a microphone on, and you've kind of worked on implementing a system. What is that in Horizon 4?
So this is another one of those cool things that we're trying to make online as seamless and as easy as possible. It's not always easy to plug a mic in and start chatting, and not everybody wants to do that anyway. And you've also got the kind of language barrier as well. So Quick Chat is just this huge collection of really fast phrases that we've got. You can assign 4 of them, and you can assign kind of different ones for free roam and a race.
Yeah.
And you just get to fire communication back and forth between people. So like, let's go exploring, or maybe help kind of lead someone to a barn find. But you can also have things like protect me if you're playing King and someone's chasing you. It's really, really cool.
I think I love that language barrier a bit as well, as just like kind of how I can break that down. But that's Forza, a little look at Forza Life. We've also got a few questions in the chat asking us if we can look at the map again. We will take a look at the map again later on. But should we talk about Forzathon? Because I think...
Just before we do, we saw both those guys taking a photo there. One of the new features that we've got in Forza Horizon 4 is that, as well as sharing those photos, which we've always had, and we've always had these big communities around Reddit and our forums and stuff like that, where people would share them, and there's competitions and things. We've now made a change where in game you can now get rewarded for that, and there's actually like a whole campaign around it. I could borrow the controller a second, Andy. Thanks. So in here, which is the screen that we call My Horizon Life, this tracks all your progress across the whole game. So, and one of those is a photographer campaign. So it's basically a series of challenges and rewards, which reward you for being a great photographer. So you take photos, you upload them, other people download them and like them, and then you basically get rewards in game and new challenges and stuff to do in game. And this screen, My Horizon Life, each one of these little tiles represents a sort of mini campaign that you can take part in. So if you want to play the game and all you want to do is playground games modes, which is like our fun, like King and Infected type modes, there's actually a campaign for that.